please write the topic for the discussion is development versus environment. Development versus environment. So I'll give you 30 seconds and then we start. The topic is development versus environment. Okay, so Kaushik, please introduce now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kaushik Sarkar, and I'm very glad that I got this opportunity to initiate the discussion. As you know, today's topic is development versus environment, and I feel this topic bears high relevance and concerns all of us as we have come to know about the recent global warming and the adverse effect that it is producing. Apart from that, I think our discussion can be categorized on these three factors, although the list is endless, but I would like to jot down these three important factors. First being the effects of development on environment, one being the in various sectors, including construction, mining, and industrial. All this sector consists some or other form of deforestation or pollution is required to continue this kind of sectors. And the second being the responsibilities. There's always responsibilities of the individual, responsibilities of the government, and the responsibilities on an international scale. On this, we can discuss the responsibility of developed and developing nation, and then we can say how to take. And the third topic will be, or the third point will be, how to counteract this effects of development on the environment, or what are the countermeasures that we should take. On that note, I would like to invite you all to express your opinions on this topic. Thank you.
Okay, Kiran.
Good evening, friends. My name is Kiran. Thank you for giving an opportunity to initiate the discussion. So today the given topic is development versus environment. So I think it is a very important topic that is to be addressed by young people like us. So here I think we should discuss in many aspects of this issue. And first of all, we should get an answer for that, whether the development is hindering the environment. Is there any problem like developing, or it is natural that as we are saying that there is global circulation, global warming and all, is it natural phenomena? Because we have seen something that in ice age and also there was temperature variation in that place time also. So some people are saying that it is a natural phenomena. So we have to discuss whether this environmental change is a natural phenomena or not. And then we have to, if it is not, then how the development is affecting the environment, and what are the remedies that we can do. These things we should be addressed in this scenario. So first of all, I would like to add some more points. Basically, I am working in climate change, so I know some ideas about the data and all. So the global warming gases is mainly reason for the increase in temperature increase in average temperature for after the industrial revolution, that is around in 1818. From 1818 onwards, the temperature is drastically increasing in Earth, and some scientists are projected what will be the temperature increase in future around 2100. If we are emitting same amount of carbon dioxide, the temperature will increase around 2.5 degrees Celsius in 2100. So it is very drastic, and it will lead to the severe sea level rise and all. So there are some impacts of development in the environment, and the remedy is not hindering the development. We have to find some ways in order to do sustainable development. That means we done it for CFC gas. We found out that CFC gas is causing the ozone depletion, and the scientific community came up and they find alternative for the CFC, and now the ozone depletion is reduced. So like this we can do, and by this note, I am passing the discussion to this.
Okay, Vatsal. Unmute yourself, Vatsal.
Okay. Good evening, friends. Today topic given to us for discussion is development and versus environment. So according to me, as we have seen in current scenario, that there is a problem of global warming and problems of deforestation and impacts of that on the climatic conditions. So it is clearly seen that it has to be controlled, and what we can discuss in this is what are the different impacts of development on the environment. The other thing we have to discuss is, can we look for both, means we can develop as well as look to the environmental conditions also, as we can do sustainable development, or we can use renewable sources of energy. And if deforestation is done, then at the same time we can do afforestation also. And the other thing we should discuss is whose responsibility is it to keep check on the climate conditions, and the policies which has to be taken out. It is a central, should be done at global level, national level, or individual level. So we can discuss all these points.
Okay. Now I think Manoj.
Yes, sir. Good evening, friends. My name is Manoj, and I am happy to initiate the discussion. Let me introduce the topic. The topic given to is development versus environment. In my opinion, this topic is the important and matter of concern. And we know that every country want to develop ourselves, and it is very important for every country. But it is also impact the environment of us. So I divided this topic into two main parts: how to affect this and how to remedy of this. So how to affect, the many industry release the many gases and chemicals, so it affects our environment, and this ozone layer is also affected, and sir, level of the ozone is also affected, and so many petrochemical industry are releasing many harmful gases. So how, what is the remedy, sir? Like the Nitin Gadkari ji say that in 2030 we all remove the all petrochemicals transportation, and all vehicles are only electrical based, and like sir many engineer was the harmful gases of the vehicle convert into the ink, sir, and so many plastic roads are developed in many country, and sir we use in the AC, sir, very harmful gas release, so it affect our ozone layer. So we also develop, sir, some mud AC. We use the mud and the water, we cooling of the any environment. So sir, in my opinion, this topic is the very important to discuss, and I am very sure you have the many points to offer and discuss. So I invited all of you to participate in this, and I open the house for discussion.
Okay, so I think first part is done. Everybody has introduced now, and we start the second part now, which will be approximately 10 minutes. So we go for the second part, in which you people talk among yourself, listen to others, give your own point, and then followed by the conclusion of the third round. So please, now I open the house. Please go ahead with your discussions.
As you know,
Vatsal, unmute yourself.
Okay, friends. So what is my opinion on this point is, as we can see that there are many policies which are being taken out, as we have seen that Joe Biden's government, US government has taken target to be carbon neutral by 2050, and Indian government is also targeting to reach the goal of 460 gigawatt renewable capacity by 2030. So by these targets, we can see that we can reduce the carbon emission drastically, and we can go to renewable source of energy, which will be more environmental friendly. So we can do development as well as also take care of environment.
Yes, I agree with that. But the carbon
I completely agree with you on that. But let us consider the topic of our capital. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let us consider the topic of our capital. If you say every development is focused around particular area. Now, if you consider New Delhi, migrants are actually living in the urban areas, and they are traveling by different modes of transportation. Usually there are rented cars, and this vehicle emissions are actually led to the highest level of air pollution in New Delhi, and that is a byproduct of any kind of development. If you consider any other particular urban center, there is also similar kind of air pollution. But we can counter that actually by using the public transportation. I think in our country, the public transportation is given very less importance. We need to endorse public transportation in order to prevent this kind of vehicular emission. And also, I think there must be some kind of drastic changes in terms of how many vehicles a particular individual can own or possess. Apart from that, we can say one common thing: if you go for a walk anywhere, you will see plastic waste lying here and there. So this plastic packaging industry, especially the propylene bags and the nylon bags, should be actually banned. They ultimately affect not only the soil layer but also
I agree with that. But
ecosystem.
I have one opinion that changing the life of people, it's very difficult nowadays, because if you ask one people don't buy that vehicle, it is not that possible. Or what we can do is there should be advanced development in technology and all. As we developed the electric vehicles, so there should be some advanced development in technology.
Yeah, Kiran, but I completely agree with you on
here
that
I
point.
would
But
like to
the
say that I do
advancement of
agree with you,
technology is
Kaushik.
also on a particular scale. Not everyone can purchase an electric vehicle.
Brought very
If you
good point.
consider,
it's not like that. See,
if you
advancement of technology means, I am giving one example. So carbon dioxide, we are all talking about carbon dioxide, right? So what scientists are doing now? Scientists are doing how to reduce the carbon dioxide, and they are not they are trying to reduce the carbon dioxide emission, but the carbon dioxide emission will be there. So how to remove that carbon dioxide from the atmosphere?
it is not only about carbon dioxide emission. Kiran, you mentioned about electric vehicles, but
should also be
electric vehicles is not affordable by everybody. If you just consider a normal scooter that runs on an internal combustion engine, another scooter that runs on an electric vehicle, it is
I agree with you.
it is actually costing 2 times more than that.
No. Electric vehicles.
Many scientists develop
thing
such a
is,
way
this is not
government
less
has
actually.
brought in
CO2
very
reduced by the
huge
vehicle
schemes
convert
for
into the
subsidies
same
for
It's very
electrical
popular in
vehicles.
Hyderabad
vehicles
also.
Government is giving subsidy.
IC engine vehicles,
And it is,
price is
we can
almost
also
same.
take example of some other countries like in European countries, they are focusing on public transport by providing a minimal fare for public transport, or even in some countries there is totally free public
Yes, I
transport.
completely agree.
So
I
if
agree with
government
you.
can bring that kind of scheme to promote public transportation.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes,
agree with
totally
Kaustik.
agree.
We say that the many plastic in the on the road we say many times. So in Hyderabad, one scientist discover this. We convert plastic into road. So it is sometimes this is done by the expand level. See, so we reduce the plastic in on India, and the plastic
Yes,
is
yes, yes. I
Yes, the
agree with you.
plastic
That's
waste
what
can
I'm
be
saying,
reduced,
that
and we can
advancement
also
is
see that
technology is
and
the
nowadays
it
one
is
the
thing
not
that we can do to reduce the
t-shirts and
climate change.
other clothing
Exactly.
so
materials
so
are also
make
being
a
made from plastic, so we can utilize the plastic. We can even dump in some construction site also to make ways,
Yeah, it
and
can
we
be
can
used for
utilize
so
landfilling,
this
but
initiative
another problem with
take by the government
the
should be so
environment
easy to
problem is actually
expand this.
connected with the waste. Actually, if you say waste management, you will particularly see that in common cities of our or the small townships or even in large towns, there is incineration of the waste, and this incineration is done without any particular systematic approach. Means you can have an incinerator that is running a power plant and has some kind of particle filters attached with it, but if you just simply incinerate the waste, that is contributing not only to carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, but there are other gases like sulfur dioxide or sulfur oxide, or you can say nitrous oxide. Other also gases are released. And even if you see the impact of the development or uncontrolled, rather I say uncontrolled development on the environment, you can see that acid rains have already caused substantial amount of damage on Taj Mahal, which is one of the 7 wonders of the world. You can say that acidic fumes near the Yamuna River.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Say,
So
I agree
this
with you.
needs to be arranged.
Again,
The
the
public
government of
incineration
India
and
also
also
allows the many industry to release the such gases. So we can
So
apply like
we can also
9001 standard is
What I'm
also
saying
apply
is,
in any industry.
so
And
we can
this
also
is
say
like
in
I would like to add one
from one
point, that
point that
if one country is
development in
thinking that
technology
we
can
will
also
reduce the
help
carbon dioxide emission,
in
and then we will change the reduce the effect of climate change, it is not the scenario with the carbon dioxide. Because if carbon dioxide is produced in one place in the earth atmosphere anywhere, it is having high spreading nature. It will spread
so it
all
will,
over the globe. If if it is produced in America, then it will spread all over the globe. So the point is, the community, the all countries should come to a point that we will reduce the carbon dioxide emission to a sustainable level or something. And
so
there
we
is one
can
another
say
thing,
here
that
that
there
so
is
we convert
the
advancement of
all the
development
vehicle
technology.
in the
in
electric
now,
technology
vehicle.
can also
Like
I
help
Tesla
think
is
we
in
all have
also launched
emphasized on only the pollution
good
aspect. Let us
environment
actually emphasize
condition.
on only particular resources stage. Means if you say if in an urban area there are water pumps and everybody individual has actually installed a submersible pump if it is at the particular available depth, and that from the water table the water what is extracted is at an uncontrolled rate. Nobody is monitoring the sinking rate of the water table, and a certain point will be reached when the water resources will be depleted. And you can see many states which had an enriched water table, the floodplains have been filled and the water table have been exploded uncontrollably, and this have actually converted them into dry state or arid areas. So not only the pollution aspect, we also need to keep a check on the over exploitation of the environmental resources.
Yes,
Also,
yes,
there are
that's-
particular sensitive areas. You cannot deforest everywhere for originating any particular highway or consider any particular construction. If you can,
Yes,
if you
yes,
have
yes,
recently considered, you can see the Buxwa case incident, the diamond mining company, and that problem associated with that national park area.
Okay.
So
We
over
agree with
exploitation
you
of
that
So
natural
we
resources.
should
in the
now also
MPs
discuss
also the
here that
thousands of
who is
trees are
responsible
cut
for taking
due to
actions
diamond.
to check the environmental condition in limit. So
Okay.
how?
So I think now we can conclude. I start with Vatsal.
Okay, friends, we had a very good discussion, and we brought in many different points that what are the challenges we are facing for in development and environment. As we have seen that electrical vehicles are also affordable, but they are of almost twice the cost of our internal combustion engines. So other some challenges are also there economically, and we have seen that plastics nowadays are used in many different ways to build roads for landfilling and other activities also. So development in technology will help us to keep environmental condition good.
Okay. Kiran.
Hi friends, I am taking the opportunity to conclude the discussion. So today we had a good discussion about the development versus environment, the topic. So I think we discussed many aspects of this issue. I think we discussed about how the government can, what things government can do, like the advancement in technology that can be applied, and we discussed about the electric vehicles and all, but there are some limitations. So that we told that the electric vehicles price is very high in compared to the IC engine vehicles, and we talked about the unlimited use of water is also a problem in this country like that. So by this I am concluding.
Okay, Kaushik.
Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to conclude. I think we had a very healthy discussion, and though we could not reach the consensus, but we pointed out many important points. This includes that endorsement of public transportation should be made. One of my friends also pointed out that the electric vehicle technology has advanced significantly, although it has to reach a stage where it is comparable in terms of price with the conventional IC engine vehicles. And also we talked about the plastic packaging industry and the alternatives that someone has actually come up with, including the use of plastic waste to manufacture roads. One of my friends pointed out that use is already done in Hyderabad. The renewable power resources also the India has emphasized to develop, and we are trying to achieve carbon neutrality following the footsteps of United States. And we also mentioned about the waste disposable techniques that is like incineration, which is used openly and should be limited by the government and also on the individual stage. And apart from that, we had a brief discussion about overutilization of the natural resources and the adverse effects, including the water table depletion. And that's all I think we have pretty much covered. Thank you.
Okay, Manoj.
I take the opportunity to conclude the discussion. We have the very good discussion and the many important points come out, and we reach one conclusion that the development is essential for the country, but in doing such a way that is less affect our environment also. So we have also discussed about the electrical vehicles, and the, like Kiran said, the climate is very rapidly changed due to CO2 also. So then we have did good discussion and discuss about the plastic road in the Hyderabad and the air to water generator also and the CO2 gas to ink. So I conclude the discussion.
Great. So I think everybody has concluded now. So this, I tell you, this topic is very, very important topic, generic topic, and ever in basically news and ever to be discussed. That is all I can say. Now, what would have been the best way to start this topic was, good evening, friends. My name is Kaushik Sarkar, and I take opportunity to introduce each one of you to the topic given to us for the discussion today. The topic is development versus environment. Versus here means that we are comparing the two. I mean, we are maybe analyzing the impact of development on environment. Friends, I must say that I agree that development is always this environment is always compromised because of development. Whenever there's a development, environment degradation is a side product of that. Now, to some extent, we can accept that environmental degradation, and that degradation should be within a limit. If that is the case, it is called sustainable development. Sustainable development simply means development we cannot prevent, because that is related to quality of life of the people. So development has to be there. But when development is taking place, then at the same time, environment degradation takes place. But at the same time, we should take some measures where there are coping strategies, or there are some kind of efforts to mitigate that environmental degradation, or to basically cope up with that particular degradation. I give you example. I'm to make a highway. Now, to make a highway, I need to cut the trees. Now, highway making is very important for economic development of the nation and further quality of life of the people. Now, when I'm to make the highway, I need to cut the trees. Now, the cutting the tree is a side basically effect of development. I need to do that. But at the same time, if I plant more trees simultaneously, then the development can be sustainable development. So the question here is, development has to be made sustainable. Now I open the house for the discussion among all of you, and I believe that we should discuss on two broad domains. One, what are the main focus areas of development which lead to huge environmental degradation? So what are the main focus? I understand we cannot cover all, but what are the main focus areas? Number two, once we have identified these areas, on what lines we are to mitigate the environmental degradation, if not eliminate. So how to mitigate that? So classification, what classification we are getting? What are the main areas of development which lead to huge environmental degradation? Otherwise, there are so many developmental areas, and every development leads to environment degradation to one extent or other. But we are focusing on some for the discussion. Why? Because we cannot cover all. Second, once we've identified such areas, then how to mitigate that? Now, you people are told many things like, plastic, you told about construction, plastics, and all these, automobile, carbon dioxide emission, power plant, automobile, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is global warming. So that is one area we identified. Plastic, another area we identified, right? So then similarly, you identified different construction industries and, many other these kind of areas. So let's discuss on those fronts. ऐसे इसका क्लासिफिकेशन बनना था. तो पहले आप एक्सेप्ट करो कि हाँ बात सही है. और बीच में मैंने आपको बहुत से सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल के वीडियोस भी भेजे हुए हैं. मिलेनियम डेवलपमेंट गोल, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल, बहुत सी चीज मैंने भेजी हुई है. Somewhere or other, if you watch those videos, somewhere or other, you can plug in some kind of data information. And Kiran is already working in that domain. Kiran could have done very good justification with the topic. Kiran, he could have done that. So only thing was Kiran talked a lot. He talked also. He said global warming is something and how it is affecting and what are the remedies. So he could think of on those dimensions how it is affecting and what are the remedies. So what can be the solution that he told. So how it is affecting, that is one part. He talked, but I think the classification could have been more clear. And then he gave many sentences he used. People will not let you speak that long. And then he talked about sustainable development later on, Kiran. So this is the topic which is related to you. You could have talked long about that. Kaushik also made some kind of characterization or classification in sectors, construction, mining. So construction, mining, etc. They were the high intensity areas of development which lead to severe degradation. So that is what Kaushik you said. And then he said, okay, responsibility is to be given. So that responsibility part was to be included under how to then minimize the. So as I told you, classification has to be exhaustive. The moment you give classification, everything should fall in that. So whatever you said, Kaushik, that also comes into that. Responsibility, sharing, or who is responsible, policies are to be made, how to mitigate that impact. It is a part of that. Carbon neutrality you talked about, or you talk about carbon footprinting, carbon trading, all these things will come in the body part. And similarly, Vatsal, global warming, deforestation, these things he said, and he said that yes, it has impact on environment. So he talked, Vatsal in the introduction talked about body, similar to body, and Manoj also did the similar thing actually. So you could speak, you guys could speak, but this is the topic on which you can write essay also 5,000 words. is a huge, very, very important topic. Environment, degradation, development, ये एक बहुत important topic है. तो I will advise you कि आज ही YourPedia वाला जो website है उसके ऊपर जाओ और देखो कि development से related, environment से related हमने क्या क्या चीज डाला है. Disaster management, natural disaster, global warming, sustainable development goal, ये जितने भी topics हैं इनको एक बार देखो. These topics are important, right? So the rest was like you people could speak and you could talk and all. That is what the best part. But I tell you again and again that if you follow the structure, if you know the structure in your mind, nobody can defeat you in the GD. That is the best part. So I'm okay. I mean, जो GD अभी चल रहा है उस base पे you people will skim through. Nothing to worry on that. But try to learn more and more. Try to adopt more. You know this. When I give you at the end, I give you the classifications and all. You understand? I don't expect that kind of proficiency from your side, and nor it is required. You are to, if there are 10 students, you are to be among first 2, 3. That's it. And you are going to be. Don't worry on that. Now give more, with more confidence and with enjoy the GD now. If you enjoy it, it will be reflected on your face. You will be smiling. You will be in energy. You will be dynamic. उसके भी 2 नंबर मिलेंगे तुम्हें. So अगर घबरा के GD दोगे तो 2 नंबर वैसे कट हो जाएंगे. Interview GD का एक मंत्र to get 2 more marks is be calm, be confident, be composed. And if that is reflected on your face, you will get 2 more marks for sure. You will get that. So that is the one thing you have to learn now. And that calmness and confidence comes with practice only. Once you know that, okay, I'm okay in GD, I have nothing to worry, then you will be calm and composed. That is how it goes. Anything you want to ask me now?
सर मतलब जैसे पॉइंट जैसे 30 सेकंड मिलते हैं तो सर मतलब सारे पॉइंट्स तो लिख नहीं पाते हैं. बट सर जब ना सर बोल वही पाते हैं जो लिखे हुए होते हैं पॉइंट. बाकी सर मतलब जैसे स्पीक करते हैं ना सर तो वो सर एक फ्लुएंसी मतलब मिसमैच होते हुए दिखती है. तो सर वो मतलब फिर बोलने फिर हम कट कर देते हैं.
मेरे हिसाब से आपको ना इंट्रोडक्शन में लिखने की बजाय सोचना चाहिए. इंट्रोडक्शन में एक लाइन बस, बाकी सारा कॉमन है. डेवलपमेंट वर्सेस एनवायरनमेंट, बाकी सारा कॉमन है. Good evening, friends. My name is this. I take the opportunity to initiate the discussion. Friends, the topic given for the discussion today is this. In my opinion, it's a very relevant topic, friends. ये सारा रटा हुआ है. एक चीज सोचना है. Friends, इस टॉपिक को I want to classify into 2 main categories. ये सोच के बोलना है, लिखने की भी जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. कि
वो तो सर है. हाँ सर वो तो है सर. जैसे कि जो बॉडी, जैसे कि सर इसमें डायमेंशंस देनी होती है ना सर, तो सर पॉइंट्स तो सर बहुत सारे आते हैं 30 सेकंड में. बट सर जब बोलने की मतलब से चांस आता है तो सर वो सारे पॉइंट्स मतलब काफी तो मतलब जो मैं
तो तुम गलती वहां पे करते हो जहां तुम बहुत से पॉइंट्स लिख लेते हो. मतलब जब बहुत से पॉइंट्स तुम लिख रहे हो ना तो इसका मतलब तुम गलत कर रहे हो, तुम गलत डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हो. क्लासिफिकेशन इज वेरी सिंपल एंड वेरी ब्रॉड. उसको लिखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. फ्रेंड्स, लेट्स डिस्कस दिस टॉपिक इन 2 मेन कैटेगरीज. नंबर 1, व्हाट आर द मेन developmental challenges and how to reduce that. Now, what are the main challenges? Let's say deforestation, and how to challenge it? Afforestation. So let's open the house for discussion. So जो आपको मैं बताता हूँ ना कि क्लासिफिकेशन करनी, मैंने हमेशा बोला है क्लासिफिकेशन शुड बी एग्जॉस्टिव एंड सिंपल. अगर तुम 10 पॉइंट क्लासिफिकेशन में डाल रहे हो तो वैसे वो क्लासिफिकेशन नहीं है, वो तो बॉडी पार्ट है. फिर तो मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, बॉडी की बात हो गई. वो तो उतना को बोलने में नहीं देगा तुम्हें. Nobody will let you speak that. And moreover, you should not be busy in writing, because sometimes, most of the time, he is saying introduce now, and whosoever will run fast, जैसे शॉट हुआ, फायर हुआ, रन करना स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा. तो वही रन करेगा जो तैयार होगा. जो लिख रहा होगा वो रन ही नहीं कर पाएगा. और सिंपल दिमाग में रखो एंड रन करो, दौड़ जाओ बस इंट्रोडक्शन में, उसका मार्क्स मिलेगा. तो अगर बहुत ज्यादा चीजें लिख रहे हो मनोज तो इसका मतलब कि गड़बड़ है कुछ. इंट्रोडक्शन में बहुत चीजें नहीं लिखनी है, 2-4 लाइन बोलनी है, लेकिन 5 लाइन अच्छी क्लासिफिकेशन वो करना है.
सर सोचेंगे तो कोई दूसरा स्टार्ट कर लेगा.
दूसरा स्टार्ट कर देगा. 30 सेकंड्स सफिशिएंट होते हैं. आपको क्रिएटिवली सोचना है, बस ये है. राइट? एनीथिंग एल्स?
Yes, sir. Sir, if in introduction we have, first of all, we will say good morning, friends, or good afternoon, friends. Today, we can directly say that today the topic which is given to us for discussion is जो भी है, and we can broadly classify our topic. फिर जो 2-3 points है उसको classify किया, और तो फिर सर 2-3 लाइन उसके बाद बोलनी चाहिए, या
अगर कोई नहीं बोल रहा तो बोलते रहो कैटर वाला. फिर उस क्लासिफिकेशन का एग्जांपल दे दो. जैसे इसमें हम बोलते हैं कि we need to identify the main focus areas where development leads to huge environment degradation, and then we need to find out what the solution for that. For example, friends, We know carbon dioxide is one of the main environmental polluting thing, global warming. And carbon dioxide is from the automobile. What is the solution? E-vehicles, electric vehicles, hydrogen vehicles. So let's now discuss on that. So, though example, you should give examples, yes. But if they let you speak, but believe me, they will not let you. Students will not let you speak long. You need to be precise. Whatever methodology I've told you, just stick to that. That is the most efficient one. Looks like very simple. Actually, it is not. It comes with practice, lot of practice. It comes with lot of practice. Even classification, somebody asked me, sir, it is not hitting. Classification, what क्या बनाना वो hit नहीं कर रहा दिमाग में. वो hit का कैसे करता है? First, you should have a little bit knowledge also. जो आपको मैंने दिया इतना videos, you need to listen to that also. And second is yes, practice. Practice will make you perfect in that. This is the second part of it, right?
Yes.
Anything else you want to ask? Chalo, all the very best. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, if in the body part, sir, if anybody speaks too long, means for example, if the group sometimes occasionally comes to be silent, should I continue or give pass the discussion to somebody else?
Just
Will it be taken as a negative point, sir?
Just you should give chance to others also.
Okay, sir.
That is a leadership quality. Take everything along with you. Lead them, but take along. Leader is not somebody who runs alone. The leader runs ahead of others and makes them follow. You will not find leader running alone. You will find leader running and uske piche many people are running. So you need to take them also along. Bhai tum bhi bolo, thoda bahut bolo, and then you keep on taking the lead. Right? Okay, good night all of you.